Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro by Map It Forward, friends, and thanks to today's podcast sponsor, the Small Business Mastermind Group by Map It Forward. For details, head to the show notes and click on the link. Today on the podcast, we're talking about how you can sell more coffee. More coffee being more roasted coffee and more cups of coffee in the cafe. This is of particular interest at the moment as we are trying to get people ready for, through our mastermind groups and through one-on-one consulting, we're trying to get people ready for a potential economic turn. And so what we're helping everybody do is get ready for how to pivot and how to prepare for different scenarios where they may have to look at increasing sales or decreasing sales but increasing prices so that they can adjust for perhaps inflation or perhaps for higher costs. There's a whole bunch of scenarios that we'll be addressing in a future episode of why you should be paying attention to inflation right now. But for today's episode, let's talk about how you sell more product. At the core of all of this is one question that I keep seeing business owners not able to answer, and that is, who are you selling to? And having a general answer of something like, well, whoever wants to buy it, or the people in our community, or the people who go to my church, or anyone who is on our social media. Now, then it's not that they're not valid answers. It's just that if you want to be deliberate about selling coffee or any product, a better way to get better at it and more successful at it is to have a very targeted approach of selecting your customer. And that is a process. Let me tell you, folks, it's not something whereby you just decide, oh, I'm going to sell to Joe Blow or I'm going to sell to Maggie from Kentucky. It doesn't work like that. It is a process of defining and testing and refining and retesting. So let's look at how we go about figuring out who we're selling to. This is a process and an exercise that I'm going through with pretty much everybody that's in the Small Business Mastermind Group, as well as the Consultants Mastermind Group. And one of the mastermind groups that's not in the coffee industry, which is the Entrepreneurship and Life Currencies Mastermind Group. That's for business owners outside of the coffee industry. And everybody that's in any of those groups, we're working on right now how to create a customer acquisition plan. And at the core of the customer acquisition plan is, who are you selling to? That's the first step before you can define the customer acquisition plan. But getting more sales is not just about a customer acquisition plan, because that's how you land someone as a first-time customer. Getting more sales is also about retargeting customers and knowing how to resell again and again to them. So that's like converting a one-time buyer onto a subscription service by retargeting them and increasing the number of sales that they're making with your business. None of this works effectively or efficiently if you don't understand who your market is. And how you understand who your market is first creating or knowing why you created a specific product for a specific customer. So deciding that, hey, I'm just going to create a bag of roasted coffee and see who wants to buy it. I'm not saying that that's not a valid approach to business. I'm just saying that it's a longer path to success, and you kind of have to just almost accidentally get success by casting the net far and wide. Whereas if what you can do is say, I have 5 different personas or 3 personas of who my potential customers should be or could be. I could see this person, person 1, and person 2, and person 3, person 4, and person 5. They're 5 very different demographics of people, different age groups, different salary brackets, different geographies, all the different kind of things, different professions, whatever. These are the 5 different groups of people that I'm going to start testing to see if they are interested in my product. And when I start to get success in seeing my conversion rate from brand exposure through to sales conversion, and there's a few steps in there to get there, which is what we specifically focus on when we're talking about this in the mastermind group coaching sessions. But if you notice a conversion rate whereby if I'm targeting a specific group of people and they seem to be very interested in my product and I'm getting a high conversion rate to turn people into first-time customers, then you can look at that and try and work on the next step in the strategy of how do I convert one-time buyers into repeat customers, and that's through retargeted marketing. So you can do that by collecting people's email addresses or retargeting them through social media advertising, through Google advertising, etc., etc., etc. So you need to have a different strategy for capturing first-time purchases, that's a customer acquisition plan, versus a retargeted plan. You get more sales when you are more deliberate about understanding who you're selling to. So if selling more product is particularly important to you at this moment in your business development, let's say more important than developing your staff or raising capital or any of those other things, if selling more product is what you are focusing on now, in Map It Forward terms, we would say that that's building in your growth life currency. If that's what you're about right now, step number 1 should be revisiting the definition of who your different customers are. The next step should be, how do I talk to those customers? Where do I find them? How do I talk to them? How do they like to be communicated with? And then, how do I have a conversation with them? How do I start the conversation with them? How do I draw them into a conversation? And how do I turn them into a lead so that I can then work on turning them into a sale by converting them? And this is a process. It's a process of working on. So let's say you've got your 5 potential types of customers, and you figured out that customer number 1 and customer number 2 are gaining traction. You're seeing a conversion happen with those groups of customers. But customer 3 in your definition, you're just not seeing any kind of traction there. Perhaps eliminate the efforts that you're making on marketing to that group of people and focus on number 4 and 5. And once you've nailed the top 3 out of those 5, see how you can increase the conversion rate from the time that you expose your brand to those people, so the marketing efforts, as you bring people into what we call the sales funnel, and then go on to the final step of that, the call to action, which is your sales conversion. Now, if this is something that you're particularly interested in, growing your skills in, or focusing particularly, intentionally on how you could make this work more efficiently in your business, and you'd like to do it around a group of people who are focusing on it themselves for their business, so that they're exposing what the blind spots are and what challenges they're experiencing, how to use SEO, search engine optimization, to improve your results? What are the different tricks that you can implement in doing this? I'd suggest considering being a part of one of the small business mastermind groups. It's affordable, $100 a month. That's $25 a week. It's just such good value. Rather than paying a one-on-one consultant, it's such good value for improving your business. And most of the people who join the mastermind groups stay in them long term. Just the return on investment is pretty outrageous. So if you want to see some of the results of that, go to our testimonials page, mapitforward.org/testimonials, and you'll see why people join these mastermind groups. It brings a lot of pride to my heart to see how successful people have gone on to be as a result of these mastermind groups, and how much strength they gain month on month on month from the wealth of knowledge that they get from the coaching and of the peer group learning. The confidence is outstanding. Peace, love, and peanut butter, friends. Have an amazing rest of your day.